In that sense, one could assume that with each generation, his message will endure, albeit not in the same context. So, for next week, I'd like you to choose one point that Machiavelli makes and in no more than 500 words, relate it to the circumstances of today. The submission link is already online and it won't be graded, so don't worry too much. The feedback should help you with the essay at the end of the semester. Okay, have a good weekend and I'll see you next week. Did you enjoy the lecture? It's a personal decision not to tell you exactly what I'm teaching. I don't want to give you an advantage over the other students. Letting slip even a little is bad. If you want to know the material, just look it up on Moodle. Otherwise, I can't give you any details. Not because I think you cheat, but because I don't want anyone thinking you're special. You know what I mean. I don't have to look up to know people are staring. We don't owe them anything, but it's my duty. Our duty, actually, to be courteous. We have to play things smart. They might have shut the petition down and things may be going back to normal, but as I said before, we shouldn't give them fuel. Because we've already fought for this. Why should we need to fight again? I want to conserve my energy, and I'm lucky to remain a professor here. I don't want to lose that, and I certainly don't want to lose you. So I need to compromise where I must. And I'm not saying you need to. That's a decision you make on your own, but there are times in life when it's easier if you do. No, I'm not taking the easy way out. You know it's more complicated than that. Where we are is plain enough, isn't it? So you're telling me that you don't mind the looks you get? You're not aware of them at all? I know when you're lying. I would be too if I said the same thing. But things can't go back to normal, nor can it have at least a semblance of it. It's still too soon. Even though the holidays have been and gone and we're in a new year, that kind of information stays. I'm not afraid of it, I'm aware of it. Is there something wrong? You're different. I'm just as observant as you. Something's on your mind. So, tell me what it is. You know what I have to do to appease my colleagues. I'm at their mercy because I pursued something they deem immoral. I can't act the way I did before they knew. Everyone is watching us whether we realize or not. I told the dean that I wouldn't do anything with you in public when I'm on campus. That means no hugging, no kissing, no skinship whatsoever. Just because we're officially together doesn't mean we can show it even though I want to. In here, a little. Come here. You have to be careful now. I know I said that I couldn't care what other people thought of us because it's not their business, and we can flaunt it all we want. We are in the right to because we don't owe them anything. It's our lives. But why invite pain when we can easily avoid it? What good does that do for us? Living without being dictated by the thoughts of others can be gratifying. Empowering, even. But it's a double-edged sword. Holding back doesn't mean we're letting them win. It was immoral, even for me. I vowed to myself I would never act on any romantic feelings I had for a student. It was the one line I thought I would never cross because If I did, what kind of man would I be? No, if I made the first move, then that would be an abuse of my power. You showing your interest first makes it a little more bearable, but in the grand scheme of things, I still betrayed myself. That's why I'm fine not giving you affection here. I'm not supposed to. But every time I look at you, it's difficult not to imagine holding you close. I think you belong in my arms, don't you think? If I give you too much, you may get sick of it. Never say never. Do you remember in the beginning when we could hardly contain ourselves? I couldn't stop hugging and kissing you, staring at you. You were the only thing on my mind. I'm not saying that anything's changed or the feeling has lessened, but I have more control over it now. In the beginning I was curious, and that's been sated to an extent, and I can go about my day knowing what you look like when you get flustered. You're cuter than I expected because you were so straightforward before.
Andrew?
Take a seat. Come in.
Hi. I printed the documents you asked for. Oh, I didn't realize you already had someone in here. Should I come back later?
No, it's all right.
Hi. How's the semester for you so far? Yeah? Honestly, I know I don't have to worry about you and your work. You do great each time. Andrew and I always say, don't we?
You're supposed to keep that to yourself.
Wait, seriously? Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was just a tease.
Luca, I was kidding.
Oh, you always get me with that.
It's quite fun to wind you up sometimes.
Well, I'm glad you find entertainment in my confusion.
No. Well, maybe a little. But that's part of the reason why people warm up to you so easily.
I'll take it. These are the ones from Angela, who's gonna do genre next month. And this is from Jean-Marc, who's gonna do the Renaissance Ripple lecture. These are the notes they're using for the slides, so I photocopied them.
Great. I think that's everything we need for this semester. Thank you.
No problem. It's my job. You don't need anything else for today?
No, this was the last thing. Actually, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure. What is it?
Have you heard anything about me? Or us, in particular?
With who?
The staff or the students?
Well, do you really want to know?
Yes.
I mean, they gossip about the both of you. But I try not to pay it any attention because I don't like getting involved in that kind of stuff.
I know. We're curious. Everything might be cleared up officially, but that doesn't stop others from giving their opinions.
Yeah. The students are, for the most part, kind of okay with it. What I hear more than anything else is that a lot of them wish they confessed to you. Quite a few students have a crush on you, Andrew, and I don't know if you realize it, but yeah, there's a lot. As for the staff, I sometimes hear them when I'm in the library or they're walking around. They judge you pretty hard. They think you should have been fired, and they say that you're giving the university a bad reputation. And I've heard some want your teaching license revoked. Do you remember when that petition was going around?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them signed it. It wasn't just the students and parents. And apparently, a handful of teachers talked to the dean about it once it was canceled.
You've heard a lot.
I don't mean to. When everything was happening, that's all I heard. But even now, in the next year, I still hear it every now and then. Are you two holding up okay?
Yes, we are. Thank you.
That's good.
What do you think? About us, I mean. Our relationship.
My opinion shouldn't matter.
I value your opinion.
Well, there's no law against it. You're both adults and you've made a choice to be together. And I know that it might not sit well with people because of the power imbalance they might see, but I mean, it's kind of obvious that you have someone you love. I can see it, even if you try to hide it. And you're different now.
How so?
I don't know. You're more tentative? Smiley? It's hard to explain. But you're less strict now, even though you're still a little strict. But maybe that's because I know you more now, so I'm less scared.
I feel lighter, that's for sure. But I didn't think it was noticeable.
Oh, it's noticeable. I know it might be difficult to not think about what other people say. I can't imagine what it's like. So, I honestly don't mind it. And it's not my business anyway.
Thank you, Luca. Truly.
There's nothing to thank. You asked for my opinion. But I'll let you two get back to it, so I'll see you next week.
Yes, good work today.
Thanks. Bye!
That was only Luca's opinion. And he's one of the purest people I know. If anything offends him, that's when you know it's serious. Just because I say I don't care what other people think about me doesn't mean I don't get bothered by it. Of course I do. This is my workplace, and I don't want to be ridiculed by people who I've worked with, who I respect, and who respected me. For you, it's only a few months. After you submit your last piece of work, that's it for you. You don't have to come back here except for your graduation. I will remain a teacher here, hopefully for much longer. And I'll still be working alongside the same people, and the students who are here now will talk, and the new year will hear, and on it goes. I'm not being paranoid. This is how it is. This is how it's going to be. I'm not complaining about it. I know what I signed up for. And though I know it's going to be hard, you're worth it. I already weighed my options long ago, every outcome that could possibly come from this. And I've come to terms with the possibility that what I have here might not last as long as I expected. But if there's a way for me to keep you and my job, then I must compromise. I have to work harder in order to hold on to both for as long as I can. Is it too selfish of me to do that? Surely I can have one with the other. It can't be either or. Ever since I met you, the way that I think has changed. It's not like I want more and more. I just want to hold on to what I have. Because right now, what I have is enough. And if I have to squash my pride for that, then so be it. I need you to understand it from my perspective. Whenever I look at you, I want to smile or acknowledge that I see you. But to protect what I have, I need to consider everything else. I can't fool myself to not care about others. It's impossible in my situation. But above everyone, the only person I truly need to understand is you. Do you get where I'm coming from? Okay. Remember, at university, we're all here to learn. And when it's over, we'll go back to my place and spend the rest of our time with each other. I've been thinking about asking if you'd like to move in with me. We've had this for over a year. Well, it's been on and off, really. But I want to make sure it's what you want. And I didn't know how the fallout of the scandal would be, so I couldn't think about settling fully. But I think the worst of it's over. We can talk about it a little later. It's not a conversation to have in my office, though I do want to keep you in here for longer. I know you want to as well. The thought of getting caught still excites you, doesn't it? Well, I didn't lock the door this time, so there are greater stakes. I'll only give you that much for today. Besides, didn't you say you do some studying at the library? I'm a bad professor to keep you away from your work. I know you're more than capable, but then I'd be interfering. So you'll have to do with this until you get back. Yes, only this. We can do this. For you, it's only a few more months. I can endure it here for the both of us. I'm strong enough, so don't worry about me. Call me when you're on your way. I'll prepare some dinner, or we could order in something. There's a new Turkish place that opened up. I always see a line there, so it must be good. We can talk about dinner later. I'll sort it out. You just focus on your work. Alright. Study well. I'll see you later.